We're being asked to write an inequality that describes the solid upper hemisphere of this sphere, radius 2, centered at the origin. And the first thing that I want to do is draw a picture of what it is that we're looking at. So we have a hemisphere, radius 2, and we want the upper hemisphere centered at the origin. And so here we have my best attempt at drawing that upper hemisphere, right? Radius 2, centered at the origin, the top half of a sphere. And here are some ordered triples, just a couple of ordered triples that are actually on the sphere. And so we also want to consider that this is a solid hemisphere, so we want all the ordered triples that are inside here as well. So we're going to write an inequality that describes every single one of these ordered triples inside this solid upper hemisphere. And so what that means is that we're going to be looking at the set of all ordered triples such that some criteria is what we're looking for here, is going to ensure that that ordered triple is actually an ordered triple inside that solid upper hemisphere. So what might that criteria need to be? So we're going to look at two basic ideas here. Number one is that we can approach this from the equation of a sphere, and number two is that we can approach this from the distance formula. So we'll start off by first looking at the equation of a sphere, and then we'll do the second way. Now, the equation of the entire sphere, if the center is at the origin, then that's going to be x minus the x coordinate of the center plus y minus the y coordinate of the center plus z minus the z coordinate of the center is equal to the radius squared. So of course that simplifies down to just being x squared plus y squared plus z squared is equal to 4, right? But that's all of the ordered triples that are on the outside of the sphere, right? And as a matter of fact, that's all the ordered triples that are not only on the outside of the sphere, but also the whole sphere itself. So we need to limit this to being just the upper hemisphere and as well all of the ordered triples that are inside. So if we think about the ordered triples that are inside here, that the sum of all three of these ordered triples squared and added together is going to have a maximum sum of 4. And if I have a smaller x value, a smaller y value, or a smaller z value, putting me kind of inside the sphere, then the sum of those squared quantities is going to be less than 4. And so what we can see here is that the sum of these square quantities, if the x, y, and z values are smaller than the maximum x, y, and z values that would put me on those on the outside of the sphere, then the sum of these things would be less than or equal to 4. And so these are the ones that are going to give me basically the solid sphere itself. But there's another criteria that needs to be met, which is that it is the upper hemisphere, so the top half. And to get the upper half of that sphere, we're going to need to restrict the z values to being strictly positive z values, right? These have to be greater than or equal to 0 z's. That would give me the top half of the sphere. So we can come up here and say the solid sphere is x squared plus y squared plus z squared less than or equal to 4. That makes it the solid one. But then we also need to impose the criteria that z has to be a positive value, and that gives me the top half. So this is the inequality that we would gain by using essentially the sphere formula and restricting the z's to be positive. So how would that then change if we were to use the distance formula instead? So again, let's think about an arbitrary ordered triple that's inside this solid upper hemisphere, and think about how far that ordered triple is away from the center point. And so we're looking at this distance. And we would essentially want that distance to be that the distance is less than or equal to 2, right? So any ordered triple that is less than or equal to 2 units away from the center would be an ordered triple that's inside that upper hemisphere. And of course, we would also restrict the z value to being a positive value. So the distance between our XYZ ordered triple and the center is going to be given by the distance formula, which is again x squared, or x minus 0 squared turns out to be x squared, but let's just kind of write all the steps down. So we end up with this distance being equal to x squared plus y squared plus z squared. And again, we want this to be less than or equal to 2 units away. So I'm going to actually get rid of this and make this part essentially my criteria that needs to be met. So we'll say the other way to express this inequality is that we're going to look at all of the ordered triples such that their distance from the origin is going to be less than or equal to 2. And again, we're going to have that same additional criteria that the z value does need to be positive to ensure that we have the upper hemisphere. Now, these two are our key criteria here, but I did want to make sure that you understand that we cannot get from this inequality to this inequality by taking the square root of both sides. We're not taking the square root of both sides of that inequality. We're thinking about it from two perspectives, one being the equation of the sphere and the other being the distance formula. If you're okay with that concept, then you can just stop the video and be done right here. But I am going to speak a little bit more about why we are not actually taking the square root of both sides of this inequality. So in order to have this discussion, let's go back to a topic in pre-calculus algebra. When we were looking at the square, x squared less than or equal to 4. Essentially what this is called is a quadratic inequality, and we did not take the square root of both sides in order to solve this. We used either the boundary point method or the graphing method. So let's just look at this from one of those perspectives. I'm going to use the graphing method here. I'm going to get 0 on one side. So I'll have x squared minus 4 less than or equal to 0. And then I'm going to graph this equation that results on the left-hand side to get a picture of who are the x values that would solve this inequality. Well, of course, x squared minus 4 is a parabola opening up that is shifted down 4 units. And that parabola is also going to cross the x-axis at 2 and negative 2. So here's our parabola, and we're looking for the x values that would cause the outputs to be negative, right? We want the x values that cause y to be less than 0. Well, that's these down here. And so we would say the solution to this inequality is going to be from negative 2 to positive 2. So let's think about, what if we were to try taking the square root of both sides? Well, that kind of would mess us up a little bit, right? Because what we normally did was take the plus and minus on the constant side and got x is less than or equal to plus or minus 2. So that doesn't make any sense, right? Because 2's here, negative 2 is there. Less than or equal to plus or minus 2, that's not the right solution set. So instead of putting the plus minus on that constant side, we could, it is possible to take the square root of both sides, and instead of plus and minus on the constant, we could call the square root of x squared absolute value of x, which is actually the definition of the square root of x squared, and then we would have less than or equal to 2. Now, on a number line, who are the x values that are less than or equal to 2? Those x values do fall into that appropriate range. So we could take the square root of both sides if we were to put abs vals on the variable side. And that's also going to be pretty tricky when I come over, and instead of looking at one variable with x squared, now I have 3 variables, and so I am just going to avoid this situation altogether and say that yes, there are ways that we could get there, but that's not at all what I did. I did not take the square root of both sides to get from this sphere equation to the distance formula. We just approached it from two different perspectives, the sphere and the distance formula. There are ways to get there from here, but that's not what I did. I did not take the square root of both sides.